Ladies and gentlemen, week after week, we have been getting you details of the investigation, or rather, if I may say so, the so-called investigation that was carried out by the Maharashtra Anti-Terrorist Squad in the Malegaon blast. First, we told you how the ATS conducted narco analysis and then never relied upon it. Then we brought you multiple witnesses, statements of these witnesses and the inconsistencies in it. Tonight, we'll also get you details of how Lieutenant Colonel Purohit was fixed, allegedly fixed by the Maharashtra Anti-Terrorist Squad, and now it is out in the open. My colleague Alisha Nair and Sandeep have been piecing together all the details in this entire investigation. Take a look at this report and then we go across to our reporters, Alisha and Sandeep, who's getting you the latest in the investigation that has been carried out by Republic TV.
Republic continues to expose the Malegaon, that is Saffron terror hoax. The exposure that has been coming across, importantly the first investigation that has come, that is of narco terror. The report that was never given to an accused, even after asking continuously whether by the RTI or whether from the court. The second exposure that has come across, that is something, a statement of an army personnel. We have accessed a 5 army personnel statement, the statement that was fabricated by the ATS back in 2008. But though army personnel has been declared as an hostile. Now what we have come across of a statement, again, army personnel, clearly mentioning, if I read out the statement, which clearly mentioned that Srivastav had also threatened me that he will also implicate me in this case as implicated to Purohit. So this is a Saffron terror hoax which has come across, and we will continue with our investigation in this entire Malegaon blast case 2008.
Let's go across to my colleague Alisha and my colleague Sandeep, who will also be joining us on this broadcast, getting you the latest details of the investigation that's been carried out so far. So first we told you about the narco analysis. The question that was raised was the fact that if at all a narco test was actually done, then why is it that the Maharashtra Anti-Terrorist Squad never relied upon it? There is no answer to it. In fact, the accused in this particular case went to the court seeking details of the investigation and the narco analysis CD, but that never happened. And thereafter, there have been inconsistencies in the witnesses, the statements that have been recorded. First, it was the Maharashtra Anti-Terrorist Squad that was investigating the matter, and then it was the National Investigation Agency. So what's the latest that we have on this story tonight? Joining me is my colleague Alisha from the Mumbai newsroom. We'll also bring in Sandeep in a short while from now, who's been tracking the story very closely along with my colleague Alisha. Alisha, we're talking about another big expose. This expose is about Lieutenant Colonel Purohit. How he was allegedly fixed. The fact that there were links with the RDX, then the fact there was an allegation that was leveled that it was Lieutenant Colonel Purohit who was part of this entire conspiracy. What's the truth?
Well, Shravan, now we have a statement that has been recorded by an army personnel before the special NI court. The statement which was recorded on 6th of August 2022. If I read the statement which clearly mentioned that I have stated in the court of inquiry whatever I have deposed today in the examination in chief, it is correct to say that Srivastava has also threatened me that he will also implicate me in this case as implicated to Purohit. So this clearly shows the Saffron terror hoax, which clearly shows that what they were continuously making, and they were implicating specifically the Colonel Purohit in this entire case. Because what we know, we have been investigating into this entire case from the day one. We have been saying there was a narco report which was asked by the accused continuously, but they were never provided. Moreover, it was army personal statement, the statement that was recorded back then in 2008. And when they were brought before the court for the testimony, where they were declared as an hostile. Why? Because the statement which we have, the 5 army statement which we have accessed, that statement clearly mentioned that there were no statement earlier that was recorded in 2008, after which they were declared as an hostile. And now this is a statement of an army person. So this clearly shows that it was a clear cut of implicating a Purohit, Lieutenant Colonel Purohit in this entire case, because it has also been mentioning that there were officers who were pressuring them, they were threatening them, and it has clearly mentioned that how they implicated Purohit, they will also implicate the same witness. So such kind of witness statement that we have been accepting, and it's a clear, expose of this Malegaon blast, the Saffron terror hoax. And there are more things that need to be, because now it is 82 witnesses, more statement that has to be recorded before the special NI court. But as we know that there are 29 witnesses that have turned hostile, and most of them are the army personnel as well, where the statement was never recorded back then in 2008, and now they have been declared hostile.
Well, let me also quickly bring in my colleague Sandeep, who's been tracking this story also very closely. In fact, some of the statements that were brought in earlier by Sandeep, what is amply clear from the exposures that we have done so far, Sandeep, is that multiple inconsistencies. And the fact that we are staring at a long drawn trial that has only frustrated many accused in this particular case. In fact, we've also seen Lieutenant Colonel Purohit already moving an application for a discharge in this entire matter. And in the proceedings, they've essentially raised this entire question that if at all there was any allegation sticking on to Lieutenant Colonel Purohit, then the army would not have kept him. He would have been suspended. He's very much serving the army even as we speak right now. Sandeep, a quick recap of the major flaws in the investigation that has been carried out by the anti-terrorist squad.
See, Shravan, if you go through with the, as we started up exposing, this case, how it was investigated. If you go through with that anti-terrorist squad investigation, and if in the start also, when one of the accused had tried, seeking the report of narco test. So far, there hasn't been any, narco test CD been allotted to the accused, and in fact, it hasn't been made public. In fact, there was an application given in the court as well to publish that CD, wherein the video recording of narco text is there, but so far it hasn't been revealed. Now, each and every day there is a continuous hearing over the case, and in fact an application by Colonel Purohit and also Sadhvi Pragya. In fact, the application for discharge of allegations is listed tomorrow at Bombay High Court on Sadhvi Pragya. So it will be crucial to see what happens in this case. But at this point of time, whether you go through the statements of the accused who have been in fact made accused, whether it is Sadhvi Pragya, whether it is Colonel Purohit, or the other who were made accused, be it Sameer Kulkarni or Major Ramesh Upadhyay, they have several times made allegations on the investigation of ATS. And remember, in the past also, NIA had given clean chit to Sadhvi Pragya, but yes, as the case is under trial, the trial is still underway, and in fact, day by day, each and every, day by day, another witness gets hostile, and it will be very much crucial to see the who was the main conspirator or who was the person behind all this conspiracy, who had in fact given birth to the name Saffron terrorism. So far, it will be very much crucial to go with the trial that is happening in the court, Shravan. But yes, once more and more witnesses comes and give their testimony in the court, the picture will be more clear.
Let me also now bring in my colleague Alisha, who's getting us more details of the statements that were basically recorded by the National Investigation Agency. Just for the better understanding of our viewers, one, most of these statements were first recorded by the Maharashtra Anti-Terrorist Squad. There were witnesses that they were essentially relying on. What turns out from our expose is the fact that the National Investigation Agency has recorded the same very witnesses, but they have given a different version altogether. Is that correct?
Well, yes, Shravan, because this is a statement that has been recorded by National Investigation Agency, is something recorded before the magistrate court. Specifically, the designated court, which is the special NI court, that is under section 164. So this is something on record before the court, and what we have been seeing, we are continuously witnessing the statement given by the witness, whether the fact it was recorded back then in 2008 by Maharashtra ATS, who was investigating, and initially they were investigating into the case, and the statement and the charge sheet that has also been filed by ATS. And the second thing, when NI in 2011, a National Investigation Agency took over the Malegaon bomb blast case, where there were again witnesses were called in. And now when the trial is underway, there are all the witnesses who has been called in before the court, and they have been recording the statement. Till now, there are more than 100 witnesses. Their testimony has been recorded before the court. But what has been transpired in this entire investigation, where the people, the witnesses, whether it is the army personnel, we even saw in the last part of investigation where the army personnel statement was fabricated. Fabricated in what way? Because the statement that was recorded back then in 2008, they have never recorded the statement as what they have said before the court. But now the new statement that has been emerged and that has came into it, it clearly shows that the person was threatened